Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're going to continue our coverage on, One Piece. Was feeling a little weird, so I kind of had a recluse weekend, but just turned 31, so just kind of took some time to myself, and we're going to kick it up to make sure that this year is the best year I've had on YouTube yet. And that's going to be good, because that's going to mean a lot of cool content for you guys. So right off the bat, I just want to say, if you want to support the channel, all you got to do is like this video, maybe hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, click the notification button so you never miss a beat, and then maybe even go down and check the link tree so you can see all the things I'm up to at Universe X. It's a growing brand, and we're doing so much, and one day it's going to be a known name amongst gamers and TCG players alike, and we're at the early stages of it. So yeah, past that, also wanted to say, if you want to help me out a great ton, maybe a little birthday present, if you could just check out my Dragon Ball gaming channel, subscribe to it maybe, because if I have even 20% of my subscribers here sub to it, I'd be monetized in the next month, and that would really help me stand on my own 2 feet as a content creator alone. So with that being said, we are here to talk about Ace coming out of OP03. Ace is going to join the already fairly long list of competitive red leaders in this game, but Ace is going to do it in a completely different way. A way that's actually sort of borderlining on gimmick, but it's actually a really good gimmick. And it's going to make this deck unique, because we've all been there in One Piece games where we're just sitting there wishing we had one more like counter value card, or a 2k counter in hand. We wish we got some things off of life. But Ace never really has to wonder those cards, because you can be very, very limited on the cards in your hand that you can't counter with. Ace is going to be able to turn event cards into counter, and that means you're only gonna have maybe a handful of cards that do not have the ability to be countered. So with that being said, we're gonna jump right in. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's talk Portgas D Ace, son of the Pirate King. So let's actually dive into the cards, okay? First, we're going to start off with the leader. This is Portgas D Ace. When this leader attacks or is being attacked, you may trash any number of event or stage cards from your hand. For each card you trash, this leader gains plus 1k power during this battle. Now, this effect alone makes Ace one of the most counter intensive decks in the game, because realistically the only cards you shouldn't be able to counter with are some of your biggest bombs in terms of characters, such as Whitebeard himself or Ace himself. Most other cards are going to allow you to counter or fetch cards that counter. Like Buggy can't counter, but you can play Buggy for one, search your top 5 for an extra card, and an extra card can counter. This also is going to lead to some very, very crazy synergies that we're going to see a little later, but this is going to be a very Dark Broly-esque effect for most of you guys that play Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, you can counter with stage and event cards, meaning that you pretty much have very few blank cards in this game. And this also, because it's on attack or defense, you're going to be able to provide yourself with some of the highest shotguns in the game as well when you dawn up things and then dump your hand into them. So moving on, we've got one of the first searchers, arguably the most important one. We have got Buggy. This card cannot be KO'd when battling / attribute characters and leaders. That's very cool. And then on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 red event card, and add it to your hand, and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in the order. This is the best searcher in the deck by far, because Ace is going to be saturated with event cards. Next, we actually have Ezo Searcher. We've kind of talked about this before in some way, shape, or form capacity, but Ezo is going to be crazy, because Ezo is going to be able to search a lot of things in this deck. You can search all of your extra cards that have the Whitebeard pirates on them, so you can search the Whitebeard Searcher, you can search Fire Fist, you can search Crossout, you can search Seaquake, you can search Whitebeard like the 9-drop himself, you can search Josie, you can search Ace, you can search any Marca. This card is an excellent searcher in this deck. So between Buggy and Ezo, you're going to have quite your pick of the cards you can see per game, and as you guys know, more options generally lead to better plays in the hands of a better player. Next, we got Jozu. I included him in here because Jozu isn't just a 2k. Jozu can also be a rusher when you have 2 or less life. So this is going to be a very, very, very strong pick. And you'll start seeing that in next set, red will comfortably go down to 2 life. And then just start stabilizing hard there, because their Marcos will be able to keep recycling themselves as blockers. You have cards like Jozu that can be rushed. So 2 life becomes a very dangerous point where red gets very sticky next set. So just be mindful of that. But Jozu is a 2K that can be searchable with Ezo that also can be a rusher that comes down a minimum of 5K. Next, we got Marco. This Marco is from set 2. You guys should already know him. He is a blocker. He has 1K counter value, and he's also going to be able to be brought back in rest mode when he dies when you have 2 or less life cards. So, like I said, I have won games in testing where I've had 3 of these Marcos on board, and then like just a beater and another one of the set 3 Marcos, and I just keep turning my leader and the Marco and whatever the other beater, a Whitebeard or Zora or whatever, to the side, and I just keep 3 blocker Marcos up to keep myself alive, and it's been working. It's crazy. So yeah, this card becomes even crazier next set. Next, we're going to talk about the Marco that comes in set 3, one of the better cards that drops in the set. He costs 1 more than the previous Marco with an extra 1000 power, but when he gets played, he's going to KO something on your opponent's board that has 3K power or less. So he's a Vista wrapped into his effect, which is why you're not going to see many Vistas played in the next set, because this guy costs 2 more Dawn, much bigger body, does it all, and this is going to combo the same ways with Otama if you play it Gord and things like that. Next, on KO, you're going to be able to trash 1 event card from your hand, play this one. So most red decks are going to start playing more events, like cards like the Whitebeard Pirates is going to go even crazier, because you can drop it for the blocker Marco since it's a Whitebeard card, or you can drop it for this Marco since it's an event card. So pretty crazy, but this card has amazing longevity, and between this and the blocker Marco, your boards just stick so hard as long as you have the cards in hand to keep fueling them. The next card we're going to talk about is actually Ace. You're still playing this because you still have a Whitebeard Pirate leader, and so you're going to be able to play this guy for 7. He's going to be able to neg 2 things by 3K and then swing on one of them or swing on the leader. He's a very, very strong card, and mind you, you set up even more plays. Let's say you play Portgas D Ace and you minus something by 3K, you send your Marco in, it gets a life. Okay, Jet Pistol, I'm gonna Jet Pistol Marco. Well, oops, big mistake, because now you can discard an extra card or an event card, play the Marco, and just blow up something, I believe 6K or less, because you've minused it by 3K with Ace. So you add another layer to your play with this card, and he has so much synergy with the deck. Very, very wonderful. You can play this, and with your last 3 Dawn, play things like Fire Fist and blow up something that could have cost 8K or that has 8K power, because Ace will lower it by 3K, and then you'll be able to Fire Fist off the board. So that's actually mighty insane if you ask me. Somebody could have a blocker and a kid, 8-drop kid on the board, and you could literally play Ace minus that by 3K, minus something else by 3K that swung at you last turn. Play Fire Fist, blowing up the blocker, and then also blowing up kid because it's been minused, and then you could use your leader just to swing on the thing that swung at you last turn, you minus by 3K. Amazing amounts of swing with this deck, including this card. Next, we're going to talk about Whitebeard. The reason why Whitebeard needs to be talked about is because he is still that dude, and actually Whitebeard is actually safer to play in this deck than most other decks. So with Whitebeard, the leader, you play Whitebeard, the card, the character, and you're going to go up to 8K, and that's a little steeper to swing over. But with Ace, normally when you're playing red and you play Whitebeard, you love playing it on 10. Playing it on 9 can be fine if your opponent doesn't have an established board, but playing it on 10 is great because you can still have a Dawn up for Radical Beam, putting your life up to 11K on one of the swings if your life is low enough, essentially making you almost untouchable that turn. But Ace is going to have an even stronger 10 Dawn Whitebeard turn, because you have room up for Guard Point or Radical Beam, which are both played in the deck, but you can also drop more extra cards. So when you play Whitebeard with Ace, it's one of the safest turns you can do it on, instead of being like other red decks where it's particularly not safe. His 2Ks, his extra cards, and 1 extra card counter will be active during the turn you play Whitebeard. So Ace is incredibly safe on the recovery from Whitebeard, and you will likely get to the next turn where you start using him as an offensive asset. We're going to have an honorable mention for Zoro because he's teched in certain lists, sometimes not played at all, but Zoro is really a timeless card. 3 Dawn for a 5K, goes neutral with leaders, it has rush. It's hard to power creep this card. Next, we've got Whitebeard Pirates. We were talking about this. This is just the tap 1, search top 5 for a Whitebeard Pirates card. You search out so many good cards: Ezo, Ace, Jozu. You can also search out Whitebeard himself. in any of the Marcos. Very, very nice, but it's also, like I said, you can use a singular card to discard for both Marcos, and that's what really gets it synergistic. This card is not dead no matter how you see it, no matter when you play it, no matter how you play it, and there are very few times where cards like that exist. Next, you got Seaquake. Yeah, lots of people were putting this in the beginning of Whitebeard decks, then taking it out. But in Ace's hands, this is very, very, very good. Like I said, it's an extra card, so you can always discard it for 1k, but you can get rid of pesky blockers, so you can swing and kind of get those shotguns in for game. On top of that, he has great synergy with the Ace battle card, or as the Ace character, because you can play the Ace character for 7, minus 2 things for, you know, they're like 3k, and then now for 1 you can blow up something that used to be 6k, like a law blocker. Very, very strong synergy. Next, one of the new cards, you got Fire Fist. Excellent, excellent. This is like an evolution of Gum Gum Jet Pistol. This is a 3 cost, right? You may discard 1 event card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5k power or less, and another one of your characters with 4k power or less, and you KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5k power or less when it's triggered. So this is actually really strong. Your opponent could have something beefy, like literally a law blocker next to a 8-drop kid, and if you played 7-drop Ace to lower the 8-drop kid to 5k and the law blocker to 2k, you can then just play Fire Fist and blow up both of them, and that's a huge swing. Those are 2 beefy cards. They can't reestablish both of them in the same turn. Absolutely insane. But that's what we do here. The cards actually play very well into each other. Now, moving over to some of the last cards, we got a couple more left. We got Jet Pistol. Don't really need to go terribly into Jet Pistol. It's actually just doing its thing. You just KO one of your opponent's characters with a power of 6k or less. Start that card, trigger, activate the main cost. The main reason why you don things up to 7 that you don't want getting blown out the water before you swing into red. And real quick, what I want to do is jump over to the Mystic TCG ad for a split second. They are my sponsor, and they are the best place to buy sealed product for any of your TCG games. And if you are trying to buy One Piece from them, just make sure you try to check on the site like 5-6 months early, because you want to be able to jump on those pre-orders the moment they go up, because One Piece sells out fast. Set 4 may not be as bad as Set 3, but Set 3 was incredibly hard to find. So if you want these cards, you want to have the ability to pull on camera, pull in the comfort of your own home, get those alt art leaders and those alt art cards before they go crazy in the market, this is the place to get it in. And you can use my code. So I'm going to play that ad real quick. So let's talk about Mystic TCG, your one-stop shop for all your TCG needs. On the site, you can buy or pre-order plenty of sealed product for plenty of games. Just make sure though, if you're pre-ordering, to give it 3 to 4 months in advance to start looking, because sometimes the product is indeed hot, supply and demand, you know? And then if you want to buy singles, go on tcgplayer.com. There's going to be a link in the description where you can buy for the best value. And if you want to sell cards or collections, you can message them on their Facebook site so you can get the best bang for your buck on any type of way you want to buy or sell cards. And then while you're at it, you can use the code UNIXTCG at checkout to get even more of a discount. So hey, what are you waiting for? Check out Mystic TCG today. So yeah, hope you guys give them a visit. Now moving to the next card, we have another rare from the next set. That is Flame Emperor. Ah yes, this card is hilarious. When we first saw this card, we were like, wow, so 8-drop kid just no longer exists. It is a 7 cost, which is the heftiest extra card we've really seen, if I'm not mistaken. But if your leader is Portgas D Ace, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8k power or less, and then your leader gains double attack and 3k power during this turn. The trigger is just KOing something like Jet Pistol, 6k power or less. So the crazy part about this is this can wipe off most things on the board. Like you could literally play an Otama for 1 and then play this card for 7 and just blow up a 10k threat and then get double attack to try to close out the rest of your opponent's life before swinging for a game with something else. This is a crazy card, and the best part is it's never dead because it's Ace. You can always just pitch it for 1k counter power on attack or being attacked, which is just absolutely wild. It's just the nature of this card, but I am very, 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 very happy to see something like this exist. And to be completely honest, I kind of hope they continue the trend. I would very much so like them making more event cards specifically for specific leaders, so you have more of a reason to play leaders. Like you may be like, okay, this leader is overall weaker, but this leader's signature card is absolutely bonkers and I need to play it. So you sacrifice a little playability for such a powerful card. I think this would be very, very nice. Like give another, well, Paradise Waterfall's already taken, but we could have another move used by Odin, or maybe have a King of Hell move for Zoro, just things like that. Next, we're going to go over to the defensive cards. You got Guard Point, easy starter card, plus 3k on the counter. Trigger is going to go up 1k power. Again, Ace is going to be able to use this to full effect or drop it for 1k. Next, you got Radical Beam, enough said. 1 cost, counter 2k, or if you have 2 or less life, which is, like I said, where red wants to stay, it's a 4k. But Ace can always use it to drop it for 1k. And then you got the last card on this list, which is an exclusive for this deck, well, for Ace, Whitebeard Pirates, but it's an Ace card, you know. Main / counter, if your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in its types, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4k power for this turn. And the reason why this is hot is because counter, you can use it on a character to just minus at 4k, making it softer so you can counter out of it or not even need to counter out of it. But you can also use this as a main, which makes a great synergy. 3 Dawn is this plus Seaquake, so that means you can KO anything up to 7k, and just removing kid blockers and things of that magnitude, Dofies, from the board for 3 Dawn and 2 cards in hand, I trade that almost every time because those guys are straight momentum and they will sit here preventing you from killing them because of their naturally big bodies and the counter power behind it. So excellent card. But I just wanted to say I hope you guys enjoyed the rundown of Ace. I will say right here, one of the main things about this leader is that none of your cards really draw dead. They can all be used in some capacity or another, which makes it very, very strong. On top of that, the other thing is that Whitebeard is a much stronger play than it even was before, which is scary when you really think about it. And this deck's constant removal makes it feel almost closer to black, especially with the ability to minus using Otamas and the Ace leader, or the Ace character himself, plus the rampant amounts of destruction in this deck. Ace may not be the de facto strongest red deck, but I do think that Ace is one of the best red decks if you just adjust to its playstyle. So you guys might want to get your reps in on One Piece Sim, see what's going on, but I have been having a ball with this, and I think you guys will too. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, just to like the video, comment on it, let me know your thoughts, and we'll keep growing over here in Universe X. See you next time.